And hello YouTube, GSmaniamsmart here. In today's video we're going to be taking a look at how to farm for ancient wood logs. We'll show you the best farming routes and some of the best maps, so hopefully you'll find that helpful. Let's come up next. What's up guys, GSmaniamsmart here. Today we're doing a brand new video for Gaming with JS. Glad to have you. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, go ahead and subscribe. Plenty of other Guild Wars 2 content videos on the channel, plenty more to come as well. So if you're interested in Guild Wars 2, interested in guides, leveling guides, farm guides like this one, gold guides, we have all that kind of stuff. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button as well as that post notification bell so you can stay up to date with all the most recent videos. So glad to have you in another video. It's been a while since I made one, I think like 5 or 6 days. There hasn't been much going on in Guild Wars 2. The big World vs. World patches and big PvP patches have been really good, but not a lot of guide type of content to make. And I'm not feeling like making build guides at the moment. But what I did want to do, and I've been wanting to do this for a while, is we have several gold guides on the channel. If you want to check those out, I'll leave a playlist link in the description, a card on screen right now as well. And we have a scrap farming guide as well. I'll leave that playlist in the description and a card on screen now as well. But what we don't have is some of the other material gathering guides that I wanted to make a while ago. And one of these ancient wood logs. Now ancient wood logs is very expensive and you need a lot of them for legendary crafting, ascended crafting, for all kinds of crafting. So in this video, I've put together the 4 best maps to farm for ancient wood logs. You can, of course, go to the wiki and they'll tell you where you can find them. But I feel like the wiki's a bit outdated. It's not as accurate. A lot of websites also claim that they have the best routes, but I've tried many websites and their routes, and a lot of them aren't that good. So I have my own route that I've created, and I've taken inspiration from a few sources that we'll go over today. Now you can salvage ancient wood logs from level 70 and level 80 weapons. As you can see, I bought a level 80 staff here. However, when I salvaged it, I only got elder wood logs. So while the Guild Wars 2 wiki does say you can get ancient wood logs from 70 to 80 gear, 70 to 80 weapons, not gear, 70 to 80 weapons, I don't recommend doing this. Maybe if you buy some of the more expensive ones, you could salvage and get some ancient wood logs, and maybe you could get away cheaper than you would have if you bought them and make some profit of it. But it's not a very safe way to do it, and it doesn't guarantee you ancient wood logs. The 4 maps we're going to take a look at today will guarantee you ancient wood logs. In each route, you'll have a chance to get between 1 to 4 saplings, and each sapling can give you between 3 to 4 logs. One thing I do recommend doing is getting your guild hall gathering booster. Any type of gathering boosters you have, the guild hall one is free obviously, so get that and you'll have more chances of getting more ancient wood logs or being able to harvest it more as well. So the 4 maps we have is the Cursed Shore, Malchor's Leap, Frostgorge Sound, and Southsun Cove. Now, I will have some footage in the background of me collecting some ancient wood logs so you can see. A few notes I do want to make is that these routes that I'm giving you, they're the best way to find the ancient wood log nodes. However, there are other places in the map where you'll find them. I don't think it's very efficient to go out of your way and out of the route just to go and get them, because they do respawn. Sometimes they respawn every day, sometimes they respawn whenever there's a new patch. So these nodes do respawn quite a bit, and sometimes they'll change locations. So the route that I have here that I'm going to give you, this is pretty much the best route to take for the most amount of nodes without taking too much time to wander in the entire huge map. Now there are bigger routes that I've seen online that people suggest you to take that take a bit longer, and you may get like maybe an extra node, but I've basically cut those out because I feel like it's not worth the trek you have to make around the huge map just to get that one extra node. I think it's much more worth to take a shorter route, get more nodes rather than walking a ton and maybe you not getting any nodes at all. So first up, we'll start with Southsun Cove. In Southsun Cove, you'll see it's a pretty short route. The map is pretty small to begin with anyway, but you'll be crossing 2 bridges. You'll cross one of the bridges when you start the southeast waypoint. That's where I recommend you to start. You cross the little island, cross the next bridge, go through the fort, and you head south into the bottom left corner of the map. And you should find, most of the time you'll find between 1 to 2 Orion saplings. Like I said, there may be some more Orion saplings in the north here, but it's too big of a map. I don't feel it's worth going all the way north and all the way south again just for an extra node. So this is the best route that I felt like is worth getting. Then in Frostgorge Sound, you're kind of going to make a figure 8 type of route. Once again, this is a very big map, so there are some other nodes in this map south of the map. However, once again, like I said, I don't feel it's worth to trek all the way south to get some of the nodes there when you could just stick to this little route that I have and still come up with 3 or 4 nodes. In Frostgorge Sound, I usually get between 3 to 4 nodes, even in this small little circle route that I have here, so it's not required that you go through the entire map here and follow some of the bigger routes that I've seen online. This is just as efficient. Then in Malchor's Leap, another very circular route that I have here. This is a pretty long route because you're going through a lot, and sometimes you won't find a lot of nodes here. I've ran this route quite a few times, and sometimes you'll come up with only 2 nodes, sometimes you'll come up with 4 nodes. So on some days you'll get lucky, some days you won't get lucky, but we're covering a lot of ground here. We're starting on the, I like to start on the southeastern part of the island, then make my way north, cross the ocean twice, head to land again on the northwest side, make my way down, and then go south back to the lower eastern corner of the map. And you should find, I say on average, 3 nodes, and that's a fairly good run compared to some of the, compared to Southsun Cove at least. And then in Cursed Shore, once again, a pretty long run, and you're basically covering most of the left side of the map. Here on average I find about 2 ancient nodes. I'll usually always find one in the very southern part of the map, which is the last place you'll get to. I usually always find one in the very north part of the map, which is where you'll start, but sometimes I'll find one in the center, sometimes I won't find anything in the center. But just to be sure, that's why we're taking this long route. You'll start in the northeast side of the map. There's a waypoint right there by the little keep. Go head east, follow the shore, down, cross the little river, go into the next part of the island, and try to stick to the center here so you can get a good view of the left and right side of the map here. And then just cross the ocean to the other small part of the island, and you'll head back to, and then you'll head down to the southern part where the destroyed ships are, and there's usually always one there. So that's Cursed Shore. A few tips that I have for you while gathering: you obviously need to have the highest gathering axe to get the ancient wood logs. If you have something lower than level 60 axe, then you won't get the ancient wood logs. You'll get ruined logs or something like that. So make sure you have the proper gathering tool. Another thing, these are not account bound, they are character bound. So the good thing is that when you finish these 4 maps, and on average you'll get around 30 to 40 ancient wood logs by going through these 4 maps. So on average you'll get around maybe 8 to 10 or 7 to 10 logs per map. You can go switch to another character and take that same route and you'll get the same amount of logs, because these are character bound. Now these do not respawn, they only respawn on the daily reset. They respawn every 24 hours, right around there. I have seen that if you do farm these logs on the same day, maybe like 5 hours before reset, after reset, a couple hours after reset, you can farm them again. So it's not always 24 hours respawn time, but you can definitely harvest them all once every reset period, so every day on each character. So you can switch characters and constantly farm these. If you have 3 characters and you do it on 3 characters, then you could get up to 120, maybe even a bit more ancient wood logs. And going through 4 of these maps, each map takes about, I want to say 10 minutes. So in 30 to 40 minutes, you could get them with 1 character. In about an hour and a half, 2 characters, that's close to 100 wooden logs, 100 ancient wooden logs, and that'll save you a lot of money from having to buy them off of the trading posts, which they're already fairly expensive. And lastly, I do recommend you to hover your mouse over all the wooden log icons that you see on your map. Don't have your map zoomed in all the way to its maximum zoom. I'd have it zoomed out maybe once or twice so you can see a larger area around you where you're walking. Hover your mouse over all the logs that you pass so you save yourself time with having to walk up to them and checking them up close. And you also save your time if you see other resources spawn in that area and no wood is spawning, then maybe you can make your route a little shorter. But you want to try to cover as much ground as possible, because if you see a wooden log icon on your map, it could be an ancient log node. So that's the guide for farming ancient wood logs. We'll definitely go over some of the other materials as well, such as the elder wood logs, the hardwood logs, and the softwood logs, since those are fairly pricey as well. And if you want me to go over some of the ores, we can go over the ores too. I'm definitely going to go over the orichalcum ores because those are pretty rare to find too, and I have some pretty good routes for that too. So if you enjoyed the video, go ahead and leave a like. Any questions, comments, suggestions, if you know of a more efficient route, or if you know of a node that usually always spawns in an area that this route does not cover, that you think it should cover, then leave a suggestion down below in the comments section, and I'll definitely check it out, and maybe we can adjust the route as well. If you want to check out my most recent video, click the annotation here. If you want to check out a similar video to this one, click the annotation here. Want to subscribe to my other channels, the annotation's here. And if you want to donate $1 to my Patreon page, you can click the annotation here. That's pretty much it, guys. Thank you for watching as always. This is GSmaniamsmart. I'll be back sooner than you think. Don't go anywhere.